Yeah, hello, wonderful students. You are welcome to another live session on GMats class. I want to believe you guys are doing fine. So it's been a while, the platform. All right. So if you are just joining this platform for the first time, my name is Mr. Olukorede. So this time around, we want to look at a special topic in mathematics called mensuration. So I observed that a lot of students now used to see that topic as something complex. So, and of which ordinarily is not. Okay, so now let us swing into action. All right, so but before we do that, so if you are just joining this platform for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and don't also forget to tap the like button if this class is interesting to you. All right, and please invite your friends, let them know the class has started. Okay, so all right, so let's see if we have a good number here before we commence the class. All right, okay, I think others are just joining gradually. So please ensure you invite your friends and also get your writing materials ready, because today's class is going to be interactive as usual. Okay. All right. So now we are starting with mensuration. So we have to start with a definition of mensuration. So what do we call mensuration? Mensuration is just an aspect of mathematics where we take measurements and calculate areas, volume, and perimeter of trigonometrical or geometrical shapes. Okay, geometrical shapes. Okay, so or we say mensuration is the process of calculating or measuring area, perimeter, or volume of a geometrical shapes. Okay, and then we have different types of geometrical shapes. So we have the solid shape and the plane shapes. Okay, so we are going to start with the plane shapes. So we look at different types of plane shapes. All right, so we have different types, examples of plane shapes rather. Okay, so and which I want to believe you are familiar with. So we are going to look at those examples. Now, so when we say we are calculating area, perimeter, so what do we mean? Now, if I get a plot of land and I need to fence the land, of course, now what I need to do is to get the length of the boundary. So the length of the boundary of that land is what we refer to as the perimeter of the land. I may also want to know the size of the land. If I have a land, I want to know the size, how big, how long it is. So what I'm actually asking for is the area of that land. Okay, all right. So another one I talked about is the volume. Now, if I have a car and I want to fill the car to the brim with fuel, right? So now, and I need to get the capacity of that tank, right? So what I'm actually asking for is the volume of the tank, all right? Okay, or I say the volume of the fuel that is going to fill that tank. The same thing also applies to, your cup. If I want to know the volume of water that is going to fill the cup, I'm actually asking for the capacity of that cup. I want to believe you understand that. So now, so what we're going to be doing now, so we are not just going to be saying it, just talking. We are going to turn all the English now to mathematics. So that's what we're going to do today. So we learn how to calculate the perimeter and the area of a plane shape. Okay, so now let us now look at examples of plane shapes. So we have common types of plane shapes. So we are going to look at them one after the other. Now, the one that I think is most common is your rectangle. You have your rectangle. All right, so rectangle looks like this. Okay, so where we have two pairs of parallel lines. So this is the first one. This line is parallel to this, and we also have another one. This is also parallel to this. So, and then we have angles here. They are 90. Okay, each of these angles is 90. All right. So that's the first plane shape. So we have another one, square. Okay, it looks like this. All the sides are equal. All the sides are equal. This is another version of rectangle, but the difference is all the sides are equal. Why here? Not all the sides are equal. It's just the opposite lines that are equal to each other. All right. So we have another one we call trapezium. Trapezium. Okay, so that looks like this. So we have a parallel lines. We have a pair of parallel lines. Okay, so this is parallel to this, and then we have let's say the height. Okay, this is another type of plane shape. Okay, so can you begin to drop now in the comment section examples of plane shapes that you are familiar with? Oh yeah, now I want you to drop that in the comment section, plane shapes. So we have a lot of them, the common ones that you are familiar with. So let's drop that in the comment section. Yes. All right. Okay. All right. We have triangle. All right. Somebody said, I think, yes, that is it. You are correct. Okay. Triangle is an example of plane shape. Okay. All right. Any other person? Example of plane shape. Any other person? Yes. Okay. We have large number of them. Okay. We have large number of them. So we have triangle, just like someone have said. We have triangle. So triangle is a plane shape. Okay, we also have circle, a circle. We have a circle, a radius. Okay, so and so on. So we have good number of them. So we are going to learn how to find the perimeter and the area of these plane shapes. Okay, so that is what we are going to do now. So we start by deriving the formulas of each of them. All right, I want to start with triangle. Sorry, rectangle. Let's start with rectangle. Okay, so we have rectangle. Now, rectangle looks like this, where this is the length and this is the breadth. Now, don't forget what I said now, that if I have a land, I want to fence that land. Now, what I need to get now is the length of the boundary. Now, the length of the boundary is the same thing as the perimeter of the boundary. So now, if I want to get the length of this boundary, so I add this, plus this, plus this, plus this together. Don't forget we have two lengths in a rectangle and we have two breadths. So that means the perimeter here now is going to be L this plus B plus L plus B. All right. So now when you add this length together, we have 2L. B, we have 2B. All right, so we say perimeter will now be, you can factor out 2. We have 2 open bracket, length plus breadth. So this is going to be the formula for calculating perimeter of a rectangle. All right, I want to believe you know how we derive this. So now write this one in your jotter, perimeter of a rectangle. So you are going to be making use of this formula very soon. All right, so now this is the formula for perimeter of a rectangle. What of the area? Area, we have area equals to length times breadth. Okay, so the length here times the breadth here. So that's going to give us the area of the rectangle. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to look at some example, all right, on area and perimeter of a rectangle. All right, now let's start with this example here. Now the first example, example 1. Find the area and the perimeter of the figure below. Okay, so now this is the figure. We have 6 centimeter and 4 centimeter. Okay, so now to find the perimeter of this, we have to find the area and the perimeter. Okay, now let's get the area first. So area, don't forget, we said area is what? Length times breadth. All right, so now area is, the length here is the longest side, that is 6 centimeter times the breadth, that is 4 centimeter. So what is going to be the answer now? That is going to be 24 centimeter square. All right, so that is the area. Now, what of the perimeter? Now, don't forget, perimeter, formula for finding perimeter of a rectangle is what? 2 open bracket L plus B. That is the length plus the breadth. So that's going to be 2 times, the length is 6, while the breadth is 4. Okay, so that's going to give you 2 times. Now, what we have here is what? Is 10. Right, so and you have 20 centimeter. Don't forget, unit is very, very important. Don't just write 20, so you write 20 centimeters. So area is always in unit square, while perimeter is always in just units. Okay, so this is the answer to that problem. All right, now let's move down to the second example. The length of a rectangle is 5 centimeter more than its breadth. If the perimeter is 70 centimeter, find Roman numeral 1, the dimension, and Roman numeral 2, the area. All right. So that is the second question. Now, before we solve, if you are just joining this platform, you are new on this platform, ensure you subscribe to this channel and don't forget to tap the like button. All right. Okay. So now let's look at what we have here. Now, the length of a rectangle is 5 centimeters more than its breadth. So if the perimeter is 70 centimeters, find the dimensions, and 2, the area. Now let's solve the first part of the question. Now, we are told now that the length of the rectangle is 5 centimeters more. So if it is more, that means once I get the breadth, I will add 5 to it. So we are going to start by saying let the breadth of the rectangle be equals to b. So if this is the breadth, so the length will be what? Now, the length is 5 centimeters more. More means you add. So that means it's going to be b plus 5. All right, both in centimeter. All right, so now the question now says that if the perimeter is 70 centimeter, that is 70 centimeter equals to 2a, or let's say L plus B. Don't forget, this is the formula for perimeter of a rectangle. This is the formula, right? So, and the perimeter has been given to be 70. So let us just plug it in. So we have 70 equals to 2 times the length. Now the length is b plus 5. So we have b plus 5 representing this L. So plus b. So we have plus b. B is b. The breadth is b. Okay. So now we have 70 equals to 2 open bracket now. So we have 2b plus 5. Okay, can you see that now? So now here you can divide both sides by 2. So when you divide both sides by 2, we have 35 equals to 2b plus 5. Okay. Now what do we do next? We subtract 5 from both sides. So we subtract 5 from here. We have 35 minus 5. Here when you subtract 5 from 5, you have 0. So we have 2b here. Okay. So we have 30 equals to 2b. So here you divide both sides by 2. So we have 30 over 2 equals to b. So therefore, b equals to 15 centimeters. So the breadth is 15 centimeters. So what's going to be the length? So I'm not going to do that for you. So do that and drop that in the comment section. What's going to be the length? What is going to be the length from what we have here? What is the length of the rectangle? Okay, so if you know the answer, drop that in the comment section. So what's going to be the length? What is the length? Okay, yes, I can see Balogoremi. Okay, the length is okay, Balogu said 15. Yes. Okay, now 20, right? Okay. Okay, Ajayi 20. All right. Yes, who else is giving us the answer? Is there any? Okay, I know 20 centimeter. Okay, that's good. Any other person? All right. Okay, divine 20 centimeter. Okay, so because of our time, now let's move. That is 20 centimeters. So how did we get 20 centimeters? Look at it. Length is b plus 5. B is the breadth. So that means in this case we have b is 15. That's 15 plus 5. And that gives us 20 centimeters. So that is it. Okay. So that is the solution to that problem. Okay, now let's move down to another problem. Example 3. Example 3. The length of a rectangle is 2x plus 3 in centimeter, and the width is x minus 1 in centimeter. 1, express the perimeter in terms of x. Roman numeral 2, express the area in terms of x. And the third one, find x if area equals to 33 centimeter square. All right. Okay, so can we see the problem here now? The length of a rectangle is 2x plus 3 centimeter, and the width is x minus 1 centimeter. So the width is also the same thing as the breadth. Okay. All right. So look at this board now. This is the length, and this is the width, or you say the breadth. Okay. So now the question is, express the perimeter in terms of x. Now you don't need to be afraid of all these x and y. All you just need to do is just recall your formula for finding perimeter of a rectangle. So that is what you just need, because you need an expression for perimeter of a rectangle. So look at it. So perimeter of a rectangle, what is the formula? Do you still remember? We have 2 times L plus B. Okay, make sure you write this in your jotter. So perimeter of a rectangle equals 2 times L plus B. All right. So now in the question, we have been given the length. The length is 2x plus 3. Okay, because the question says the length of a rectangle is 2x plus 3. And what is the width? The width is also the same thing as the breadth. I hope you know that. That's x minus 1. So let us plug in these values into this equation. So we have P equals to 2 open bar. So in place of L, I put this 2x plus 3. I have 2x plus 3. Now we have a plus here. So we have plus. Now the breadth is what? X minus 1. So we have x minus 1. So now we have substituted the values of L and B. So now we have P, which is the perimeter, equals to 2 times. Now let's add this and this together because they are similar. So we have 2x plus x. That gives us 3x. And plus 3 minus 1. That gives you plus 2. Okay, so we have plus 2. All right, so now let us open the bracket. So we have P equals to 6x plus 4 in centimeter. So this is going to be the answer to the problem. All right, so we have expressed the perimeter in terms of x. So this is the perimeter in terms of x. Now, the next question is express the area in terms of x. Now, I want to get an expression for area. So that means I need to write out the formula for finding area of a rectangle. So I have area equals to length times breadth. Okay, so now what is the length? The length is 2x plus 3. So let's plug that in. 2x plus 3 times the breadth. The breadth is x minus 1. So now we just expand this. Let us expand this. So now the first term here multiplies everything we have here. So we have 2x times x minus 1 and plus 3 times x minus 1. So now let us open the bracket. 2x times x. That gives you 2x squared. 2x times minus 1, that gives you minus 2x. Now 3 times x, that is plus 3x. Okay, so 3 times negative 1, that is negative 3. Okay, so now when you look at this and this are similar. You can join them. This negative 2x and the plus 3x. That gives us 1x. So the middle here, this one turns to 1x. So this turns to 2x squared plus x. Okay, this 2 is plus x minus 3. So this is going to be the value of a. So we have expressed a in terms of x. And that is what we have here. Okay, so I hope you guys are learning. All right, so now let's look at this third one. Find x if area equals to 33 centimeters squared. Okay, so now area has been given to be 33 centimeters squared. So we just plug in a, the value of a. Let's plug that into this equation. So when you plug it in, you have 33 equals to 2x squared plus x minus 3. Right? So you can tidy it up. So now if you tidy it up, you have 2x squared plus x minus 3. So when this one comes here, it becomes negative. Or you subtract 33 from both sides. So we have negative 33. Okay. So what do we have next? We have 2x squared plus x minus 36 equals to 0. And this is also equals to 0. Okay. So now, when you look at this, this is a quadratic equation. So how do we solve quadratic equation? I think we've done that in my previous video. We've done a lot of questions on that quadratic equation. So what we need to do here is to identify the sum and product. So what is going to be the sum and what is the product? So I want you to drop that in the comment section. What is the sum and product of this quadratic equation? So if you have your answer, drop that quickly in the comment section. The sum and product. Yes. Yes, what is your sum and product? Okay. Yes, I can see Balogun. That's very good. Okay, I think yes. Yetunde, sum is plus 1. Okay, what is product? All right. Okay, Balogun has given us 1 plus 1 and negative 72. Okay, any other person? Okay, show me there. Yes. Okay. Sum plus 1, product negative 72. That's Raji. I can see your answer. Any other person? Yeah. Any other person? Okay, Toyosi, what's your answer? All right. Okay. Yes. This is Balogun again. All right. Okay, so I can see plus 1 and 7, negative 72. Okay, because of our time, let's do this together. So I just want us to refresh our brain on how to get the sum and product. Okay, so now your sum is the coefficient of x here, and that is plus 1. So sum is plus 1. The product is the multiplication of the coefficient of x here and this, negative 36. And that gives you negative 72. So those of you that have this answer, that means you are correct. Okay, so then we need two numbers such that when we multiply together, you have negative 72. And when you add the two numbers together, you have positive 1. So I need you to drop your answer in the comment section. Don't forget that the two numbers must be factors of negative 72. So that will help you now to quickly get the numbers. Okay. All right. So while you're doing that, if you have not tapped the like button, ensure you do that. And don't forget, if you are new on this channel, ensure you subscribe to this channel. All right. Okay. So what are the two numbers? The two numbers. I want to believe you drop your answer there. So what are the two answers? The sum and product. So now let's begin to look at it. Is it 9 and negative 8? Is it negative 9 and 8? Is it um, 36 and negative 2? Or is it negative 36 and 2? So we have a lot of them. Okay, so I've helped you now. So which one will be the correct answer? All right, I think you guys are dropping uh, the answers. Okay, all right, I can see Toyosi's. Show me this answer. Yes. What of divine? Divine, what's your answer? Okay. Good. What's your answer? All right. So I can see good number of us are doing well. All right. So the two numbers. All right. This is the next question. Yeah, sorry for that break in transmission. Okay. All right. So now let's look at the problem here. Yeah. I wish everybody should join in time. Okay, so now the length of a rectangle is increased by 20% and the width is decreased by 20%. Now find the percentage change in area. Okay, so now how do we solve this problem? Now the first thing is to look at this rectangle. without changing the length and the breadth. So we have a rectangle which the length and breadth have not been tampered with. We have the length and the breadth. The length and the breadth. So the area is going to be length times breadth. Okay, so this is the area. Now, what if the area, the length of the rectangle is now increased by 20% and the breadth is decreased by 20%? So what will happen? All right, so now let's look at it now. So let's assume now that the new length now is going to be, this is the initial length, L. So the new length is going to be increased by 20%. So that is going to be 120 over 100 L. That's 120 over 100 L. Now, once it is increased, initially is 100 over 100 length. So that will, without being increased, it says. So once it is increased, so it's going to be increased here. So it's no longer going to be a 100 over 100 again. It's going to be 100 plus 20 over 100. I hope you understand that. So now what if the breadth is reduced? So what are we going to have? That is B1. So what do we have? I need you to put that in the comment section. So what is going to be the value of the width? Decreased by 20%. So what are we going to have here? So drop that in the comment section. Let me see. The width decreased by 20%. Now this is the length increased by 20%. So we have it as 120 over 100 L. So the width decreased by 20%. So what is going to be the value? How is it going to look like? So I want you to drop that in the comment section. Let's see. What do you have before we continue with the solution? So what do we have? What do you have? Yes, is there anybody that know what to do? What is the width, the new width when is decreased by 20%? Anybody? Okay. Nobody is able to give me the answer. Is it that we are finding it difficult? Okay, there's no big deal. All we just need to do is your 100 over 100 B, you reduce this by 20. So it's going to give you 80 over 100 B. So this is what I'm going to have. You can see that? Because 100 over 100 is the same thing as 1B. And 1B is the same thing as B. Right? So once it is decreased by 20, so something has to change there. So you just decrease the numerator by 20. All right, so that's what we have there. So now, what is going to be the new area now? The new area is going to be L1 times B1. And of course, now you know L1 is 120 over 100 L times 80 over 100 B. All right, so this can be written in this form. Now let's first break this one down. This cancels this. 0 cancels 0 here. So we have 12 over 10 times 8 over 10 times L times B. Okay? So now, this now gives you what? This one gives you what? 96 over 100 L times B, that's going to be LB. All right. So, and don't forget, LB is the same thing as the area, all right, the initial area. So that means we have 96 over 100 here, all right, which is the area we have here. So you can see now that instead of us having 100 over 100, now what we have now is 96 over 100. So what happened? Now these have been reduced by 4. Okay, so we now say now that the percentage change in area is 4% decrease. Okay, 4% decrease because these have been decreased by 4. So it's going to be percentage change, percentage change, okay, is 4% decrease in area. Okay, so that is going to be 4% decrease in area. So, and that is the answer to this problem. Okay, so now before we wind down for today, now let us look at this very last question. Let's take this very last question. A rectangle has a fixed perimeter, of 100 meters. Now find the dimension. Find the dimensions that give the maximum area. Okay, now let's look at this question. Now, a rectangle has a fixed perimeter of 100 meters. You have to find the dimension that gives the maximum area. So we want to get the dimension that gives the maximum area. All right, so how do we go about this? Now, the first thing, let's write down the formula for finding perimeter of a rectangle. So we have P equals to 2 times the length plus the breadth. And this has been given, the perimeter has been given to be 100 equals to 2 plus D. Okay, so now you can divide both sides by 2. So we have 50 equals to L plus breadth. Now we can get expression for either the length or the breadth. So let's get expression for the length. So if we have expression for the length, we have length equals to 50. That's 50 minus B. All right, so that's going to be the value of L when you subtract B from both sides. All right. So now we want to know the dimension that gives the maximum area. We know area of rectangle is length times breadth. So the length here is 50 minus b times b itself. So when you multiply together, what do you have? You have 50b minus b squared equals to the area. Now, when you look at this, this is a quadratic equation. So now, in a quadratic equation, we want to get the maximum. The curve is like this. If we plot the graph, so we have the maximum value of of this quadratic equation if b is equals to now, or let's say if x equals to negative b over 2a. For a quadratic equation of this form, don't forget the general form of quadratic equation, plus bx plus c equals to 0. All right, so once we have this, then we say we have the maximum of this quadratic equation. All right, so in this case now, our a is what? A is coefficient of b. That is a equals to negative 1. And our b is what? B is 50. All right, so we just plug that into this so that we get expression for b. All right, so we now have your x, which is the same thing as b, that is this. So let us use b. Okay, so we have negative negative 50. Okay, so we already have 50 here over 2. What is a? Negative 1. And that gives us negative 50 over negative 2. All right, so that means your b is, this cancel this, b is 50. That is 50 over 2, and that gives you 25 centimeter. So that means the breadth is going to be 25 centimeter. So if the breadth is 25 centimeter, it means the length is going to be 25 centimeter. Don't forget, length is 50 minus breadth, and that's 25 centimeter. All right. So if we have a perimeter of 100 meters, sorry, is in meters. So if we have a perimeter of 100 meters, now to have a maximum area, all we just need to do is to divide that 50, or we say the length must be equal to what? The breadth. The length must be equal to the breadth. Do you understand now? The length must be the same thing as the breadth. That is how to get the maximum area of any given rectangle. All right, like what we have here. All right, so that is how to solve that. But then, if you do not understand, because this is, I'm making use of quadratic equation to do this. Now, let's assume that you don't really get that. You can also do it in this way. Since we want to get the maximum, if we want to get the maximum area, I've said that earlier, the length must be equal to the breadth. Do you understand now? Whenever I want to get maximum area of a rectangle when the perimeter is given, so we must have equal length and breadth. All right. So in that case, so we already have expression for the length. Okay. So now you now have here that length must be equal to what? The breadth. Length must be equal to the breadth. I hope you understand that. So the length must be equal to the breadth. And then, you know, what we have here is we have L plus B equals to 50. And if they must be equal, so that means they are going to share this thing equally. So I just say since length is equal to the breadth, so I have L plus L equals to 50. So I have 2L equals to 50, so L equals to 50 over 2. So L equals to 25 centimeters. So you can do it this way instead of making use of the quadratic form. So just know that the length must be equal to the breadth for us to have maximum area for any given rectangle. Okay, so that is the solution. So this is the length, so the breadth is still going to be what? 25. All right, so I want to believe you guys have learned one or two things. So I'm so excited that you guys are there. So, and don't forget, tomorrow is another time and we're going to go deeper into mensuration, and I promise you it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be highly impactful. All right, so don't forget to invite your friends. Let them know. There are some of you that are not on this platform. Please ensure you reach out to your friends, your neighbors. Ensure you let them know about this class. So, and also I want to encourage you, if you have not tapped the like button, ensure you do that. And also, if you are new on this channel and you have not subscribed to this channel, please ensure you do that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.